3 years watching his kingdom die, and Jackson Stone still didn't know what he was fighting. Dawn broke cold over Silver Pine territory. Jack stood at his study window, hands braced against the frame, staring at dead gardens. His wife Elena had planted those roses 23 years ago. Now they were skeletal stems clawing at gray October sky. Beyond the lodge, 60,000 acres of Pacific Northwest forests stretched toward Canada. His family had held this territory 6 generations, 20,000 wolves across 30 packs, all looking to him for answers he didn't have. Reports covered his desk. Stillbirths up 40%. Elders losing their ability to shift, wolves dying inside them. Western lumber operations reported trees shattering like glass, crops withering despite perfect conditions. Jack was 52 and felt every year. His reflection showed a man graying at the temples, lines carved deep around tired eyes. 6'2", still broad-shouldered, but age had softened him in places time couldn't be denied. The scar across his left eyebrow, courtesy of Iraqi shrapnel during Desert Storm in 1991, caught the morning light. He'd been 18 then, immortal and invincible. Now he took blood pressure medication, and his knees ached when it rained. The curse started the day that Elena died. Doctors called it coincidence. But Jack had survived enough combat to know when something was hunting him. She'd wasted away over 6 months. No diagnosis, no treatment, just slow decline while specialists shook their heads and prescribed stronger painkillers. Near the end, she couldn't hold her wolf form. Her last words whispered in his arms, "Find out who did this. Don't let them win." At the time, he'd thought she meant the illness, now watching his territory die the same way he suspected she'd known something he hadn't. The radio crackled, Ben's voice rough with age. "Jack, we got a problem. Young couple found dead on eastern border. Throats torn. This was pack, not rogues." Jack grabbed his jacket, his wolf stirred beneath his skin, restless. It had been like that for 2 weeks, pacing, snarling at shadows. The drive took 40 minutes through winding forest roads. Petra met him at the access point. Colonel Petra Blackwood, retired Marine, now head of territory security. 58 with steel gray hair and eyes that missed nothing. Victims are Tom and Julie Reeves, 32 and 28. She was 7 months pregnant. Jack's jaw tightened. Tom ran Eastern Lumber Crews. Good kid. Wife taught at the pack school. The crime scene was efficient killing. Quick. Professional. No struggle. No defensive wounds. Ben knelt beside the bodies, his 72-year-old joints protesting. 4th murder in 6 months. All young couples, all pregnant or with new pups. Someone's targeting breeding pairs. Jack studied the scene with eyes trained by war. Pattern suggests inside knowledge. More than that, Ben pointed to silver residue on Julie's wrists. She was restrained before they killed her. Silver cuffs. Then they removed them, made it look random. Petra circled the perimeter. Scent trail leads toward our borders, not away. Whoever did this came from inside Silver Pine. Betrayal. Someone in Jack's territory was killing his people. Ben pulled out photocopied pages. Found these in Tom's truck. He'd been researching. Ancient journal entry dated 1874. When land runs red with innocent blood, when alphas fall like autumn leaves, seek the omega born in blood moon shadow. 2 paths diverge, sacred union or sacred sacrifice. 1 path heals, 1 path damns. Choose wisely, for the choice reveals the leader's soul. Old pack mythology. Jack's wolf suddenly surged, pulling him east toward the lodge. "Your Majesty." Petra's hand went to her weapon. "Something's wrong at the lodge." Jack was already moving. "Now, Stenner." The pull intensified with every mile, burning at the base of his skull, his wolf howling, "Mine." Ben's voice from the back seat, "You feel it too. Your wolf knows exactly what this is." Jack didn't answer. Couldn't, because acknowledging what his instincts screamed meant confronting a possibility that terrified him. The lodge appeared stone and timber fortress sprawling across 5 acres. The pull dragged him to the east wing. Residential quarters, where Marcus lived. His son stood outside his door, 28, built like a younger Jack, but with Elena's dark eyes. Those eyes were wide with panic. "Dad, you shouldn't be here." Jack's wolf snarled. The Alpha command rolled out before he could stop it. "Open the door, Marcus." Marcus's hand trembled on the key. The door opened to a neat sitting room, but the pull didn't stop. It dragged Jack deeper to the bedroom, to a tapestry on the far wall. The tapestry was askew. Jack yanked it aside. Behind it, a hidden panel, slightly ajar. He pushed it open. The space was small, windowless, dark. The smell hit him: unwashed skin infection, fear, and underneath something that made his wolf throw back its head and howl. She sat against the far wall, thin wrists and silver chains bolted to stone. Gaunt, pale, auburn hair matted, but her eyes, golden amber eyes meeting his with defiance and desperate hope, were fierce. Their gazes locked. Pain exploded through Jack's chest. Burning, searing. The mark at the base of his neck formed instantly. His wolf recognized what his mind refused to accept. Mate, she gasped, hand flying to her own neck. Feeling it too, the connection snapping into place between them. "What is this?" Her voice was hoarse. "What's happening?" Jack couldn't speak. His wife had been dead 3 years. 3 years of faithful mourning. And now his body was responding to a stranger, his wolf claiming her. Rage cut through confusion. He turned on Marcus. "Who is she?" "Sarah Winters, from Thornwood. Born during blood moon eclipse 44 years ago. She's from the prophecy, Dad. She can save us. By keeping her in chains. I did what I had to. You were too weak to make hard choices." Jack's fist connected with Marcus's jaw. The young wolf went down hard. "Arrest him." Jack's voice was ice. "Silver restraints. If he resists, use force." Guards appeared, dragging Marcus away. His protest echoed down the hall. Jack turned back to Sarah. She watched him with calculating eyes. Survivor's instinct assessing threats. "I'm going to break these chains. Don't be alarmed." He gripped the silver shackles. The metal burned, but he'd endured worse. He pulled. The lock shrieked, snapped. When the last chain fell, Sarah sagged forward. Jack caught her. She weighed almost nothing. "I'm going to carry you out. Is that acceptable?" The question surprised her. She studied his face before nodding. As he lifted her, she murmured, "Why does he feel safe? Why do I trust him?" Ben met them in the hallway, face grave. "Jack, that's her, the Omega from the prophecy." "How do you know?" "Because 30 minutes ago the curse accelerated. Half the eastern livestock dropped dead simultaneously. Whatever's happening, we're running out of time." Jack's quarters occupied the top floor. He laid Sarah on his bed, trying not to think about symbolism. Dr. Helena Martinez arrived within minutes. "Silver poisoning, severe, multiple infections, dehydration." Helena's hands moved efficiently. "She should be comatose or dead, but her vitals are improving." "That's impossible." Jack felt it through the bond forming between them, his strength flowing into her, his wolf trying to heal its mate. "Do what you can. Money's no object." Helena's dark eyes met his. "This woman needs weeks of recovery. We don't have that kind of time, do we?" "No, we don't." The holding cells were cold stone and iron. Marcus sat on concrete, silver cuffs on his wrists, looking lost. "Explain everything." Marcus's voice cracked. 6 months ago, I found Uncle Damien's journal, hidden in the archives. The one who died 8 years ago. Jack's blood ran cold. What journal? Where he confessed to casting the curse, where he explained how to break it, where he wrote about killing Mom. The world tilted. Damien killed Elena. Blood magic. Took years to learn from a witch coven. He killed her to punish you for being weak, for choosing mercy over strength. Jack's legs gave out. Damien, his brother, his beta for 15 years, had murdered his wife. The journal explained everything. The curse is tied to his bloodline, feeds on our suffering. There are 2 ways to break it. Marcus's words tumbled out. Path 1, Blood Moon Omega bonds with her fated mate during eclipse. Their power suppresses the curse temporarily. 5, maybe 10 years, but it comes back. And Path 2, Blood Moon Omega sacrificed during eclipse. Her energy tracks Damien through the curse and kills him permanently. The ritualist gains massive power. You plan to murder her. To save us, I found Sarah 8 weeks ago. She matched every criterion. I took her, kept her hidden, was going to do the ritual during the eclipse. Jack's voice was barely human. And kill her in the process. Yes, but 20,000 live. That's leadership, Dad. The hard choice you've been too weak to make while our people died. Jack hit him again. Once, precise. Marcus crumpled. You're my son. I love you. But you're also a monster I helped create by not seeing Damien's influence. Petra entered with evidence. Jack, we searched Marcus's quarters, found encrypted communications. Someone's been instructing him. Codename Shepherd. Details on where to find Sarah. How to prepare the ritual. Jack scrolled through messages. Every time a couple died in the last 6 months, Marcus received the flock thins. Not random violence, systematic elimination. Damien's been manipulating Marcus for months, killing breeding pairs to force his hand before the eclipse. Ben studied message headers. They originated from inside our territory. Damien's been here, Jack, among us. Marcus laughed bitterly. You think I'm the only one? Half the council supports Path 2. There's going to be a vote tomorrow on what to do with Sarah Winters, and you don't have the votes to save her. Evening. Sarah was awake, sitting up despite Martinez's protests. Someone had helped her bathe. Her auburn hair was clean and combed, silver burns bandaged, but her eyes were alert. Am I prisoner or patient? Guest, you're free to leave any time. Bullshit. Your son kept me chained for 8 weeks. Why trust you? You shouldn't. I've done nothing to earn it. Silence. I need to explain some things. Then you decide. He told her everything. The curse, the prophecy, the 2 paths, the mate bond they both felt. Marcus's plan, Damien alive and hiding, the council vote tomorrow. Sarah listened without interrupting. When he finished, she was quiet. So I'm destined to either bond with you or die for your territory. No, your option is to leave. Tonight, I'll give you money protection, new identity. You disappear. And 20,000 people keep dying. That's my problem, not yours. What about this mate bond? Jack forced honesty, real. Biological imperative between shifters. Rare. When it happens, it's undeniable. You feel drawn to them. But it's not mind control. You can refuse it. I won't force anything. And you're mine. Lucky me. I'm a 52-year-old widower failing his people. I'm tired, angry, and don't believe in destiny forcing choices. So no, not lucky. Then why give me a choice? Because my wife died in my arms. Her last words were, don't let them win. She meant don't let them make you into something you're not. A man who trades lives like currency. If I let the council sacrifice you, my brother wins. My son becomes him. I become the kind of alpha who permits murder because the math works. Sarah studied him. I'm 44, widow for 8 years, raised my daughter alone, watched your curse kill people in Thornwood, stillborn babies, young men dying of heart attacks. She stood despite weakness. Your son kidnapped me, chained me, 8 weeks in darkness. You know what kept me alive, spite. Pure goddamn spite. I wouldn't let them break me. She moved to the window. Now you're telling me I'm some prophesied savior who can end this by bonding with a stranger or dying on an altar. I'm telling you that you don't owe us anything. The hell I don't. They made it my fight when they put me in chains. She turned. I want to see this council tomorrow. Hear them vote on whether I live or die. Then I'll decide. Not you, not them. Me. Jack felt something like hope. You're stubborn. You have no idea. Petra burst in. You need to hear this. She played an audio file. The voice was familiar and foreign. Jack hadn't heard it in 8 years. Damien. Greetings, Silverpine. This is Damien Stone, rightful alpha. I cast the curse killing you. I murdered Jackson's wife. I can end it all. But only if Jackson steps down and acknowledges me as alpha. You have 72 hours. If I don't receive submission by the eclipse, every wolf in your territory dies. Choose wisely. The recording ended. Ben's voice from the doorway. He's declared war. He's forcing the council to turn on me. Sarah's question was quiet. Will they? Jack's answer was honest. Some already have. The council convened at dawn, 15 wolves representing every faction. Jack knew each one, had fought beside some, but looking at their faces, he couldn't tell who was loyal and who was waiting to betray. Marcus sat in the corner still in silver cuffs, flanked by guards. Sarah sat at Jack's right hand, the Luna's traditional position. She cleaned up remarkably well, borrowed clothes, hair in a simple braid, but her amber eyes were sharp, cataloging everything. Jack opened with truth. You've heard Damien's ultimatum, submit or die. Before we discuss our response, we address Sarah Winters. Many believe she's the Omega from the prophecy, that her sacrifice could end the curse. I'm here to tell you that's not an option. Immediate uproar. Alpha James rose. With respect, you're letting personal feelings cloud judgment. She's one woman. We're 20,000. Sarah stood. I'm also sitting right here. Maybe include me in the discussion about my murder. Shocked silence. My name is Sarah Winters. I'm 44, widow, mother, former trauma nurse who's seen more death than most of you. Your children kidnapped me, chained me with silver for 8 weeks, and planned to slit my throat on an altar. Now you're having a civil discussion about whether that's justified. What kind of people are you? Elder Ruth stood. Sarah, I knew your mentor, Margaret. Good woman. She understood triage. When resources are limited, save the many over the few. That's not cruelty. That's necessity. Triage is battlefield medicine when you have no choice. This is premeditated murder dressed as sacrifice. Ben interrupted. The prophecy offers 2 paths. Why assume sacrifice is the only option? Alpha James, because path 1 only suppresses the curse temporarily, 5 to 10 years maximum. Path 2 ends it permanently by killing Damien. Jack's voice was cold. By murdering an innocent woman and empowering the ritualist. You're okay with that? The vote was called. Should Sarah be held for sacrifice? 8 votes, yes. 6 votes, no. 1 abstention. The swing vote sat silent. Elder Marcus Gray, 90 years old, blind. Everyone waited. Finally, he spoke. I remember the last blood moon eclipse. 44 years ago, my wife went into labor during it. Complications. Baby breach. 50 miles from the nearest hospital. Margaret Hayes, Sarah's mentor, drove through a blizzard to reach us. Saved my wife. Delivered my son. That boy is Alpha James here. He turned his blind eyes towards Sarah. Margaret told me she felt pulled to help, like something was guiding her. Sarah learned healing from Margaret. Same gift. Same calling. A healer doesn't kill. You're asking her to violate everything she is. I vote no. 8 to 7. Jack kept power by 1 vote. Alpha James stood. Then I'm withdrawing my PAC's support. As of now, we're neutral. 3 other alphas rose with him. 4 PACs, 6,000 wolves just seceded. After the council dispersed, Sarah looked grim. So I'm protected until they change their minds. We have 72 hours to find another solution. Your brother Damien, if we found him first. We've been looking 8 years. Maybe you've been looking wrong. Sarah moved to the map. Blood magic requires massive energy. He'd be weakened, would need somewhere to recover, somewhere off-grid with supplies. Ben pulled up a map overlay, Canadian border, Blackmore, population 300, dead lumber town, perfect hiding spot. We send scouts. If he's there, we end this without sacrifice. Jack looked at her. Why are you helping? Because I'm tired of men making decisions about my life. She touched her neck where the mate mark tingled. In this bond, I can feel your exhaustion, your fear. If it's real, I'm not letting you face it alone. The radio crackled. Alpha Stone attack on eastern border. 20+ rogues hitting livestock operations. Petra was already moving. Damien's splitting our resources. But Jack made tactical calls. Petra 40 guards to eastern defense. Ben 10 scouts to Blackmore. I stay central with Sarah. I'm not hiding in a bunker. Sarah's voice brooked no argument. If there's wounded, I can help. I'm a trauma nurse with field experience. Jack wanted to refuse, but he'd promised her choice. Stay in the medical station. Don't leave for any reason. The eastern border became chaos. Coordinated assault, silver bullets, military precision. The medical station converted barn filled with casualties. Dr. Martinez ran triage but looked overwhelmed. Sarah stepped in like she'd never left the ER, hands moving with practiced confidence, voice calm and authoritative. The first casualty was critical. 19 years old, silver bullet in his chest. Screaming, dying. Martinez shook her head. Silver's too deep. Surgery takes too long. Sarah placed hands on the wound, closed her eyes. Something shifted. Jack felt it through their connection forming between them. Power flowing through her, through him, combining. The bullet pushed itself out. The wound began closing. The kid gasped. Lived. Martinez stared. How did you? I don't know. It's never been this strong. Over 3 hours, Sarah healed 14 wounded wolves. Saved 3 who would have died. Word spread like wildfire. The Omega could heal. She was saving lives. Soldiers who'd voted for her sacrifice yesterday were thanking her today. The last casualty was Alpha James's son, silver in his spine, paralyzed. Martinez's assessment was grim. Permanent damage. He'll never walk again. Sarah tried. Jack felt her reaching through, their link drawing on his strength. Their wolves working together. The silver fragments pushed out. Spinal damage knitted, nerves reconnected. Alpha James's son stood and walked. James arrived an hour later, found Sarah washing blood off her hands. My son, you saved him. I'm a healer. It's what I do. I voted to sacrifice you this morning. I know. I was wrong. James dropped to one knee. My packs are yours. My loyalty is yours. Sarah pulled him up. I don't need loyalty. I need you to remember I'm a person, that every life matters, including mine. Ben's team returned from Blackmore just after midnight. They'd found Damien's base, evidence of blood rituals, maps with locations marked, photos of Sarah taken months ago, and journals, years of them. Ben's voice was heavy. He's been planning this 8 years. Elena wasn't random Jack. She was his first test subject. He wanted to see if the blood magic worked. Jack's hands clenched. Petra touched his shoulder. The journals detail his manipulation of Marcus, years of it. The prophecy itself, Damien wrote it 20 years ago and planted it in the archives. This whole thing's been a setup. He's betting you'll either sacrifice her, proving you're like him, or refuse and watch your territory, proving you're too weak. Sarah's voice was sharp, and he's not in Blackmore. Abandoned, but we found recent entries. Ben pulled out a page. He wrote this yesterday. Eclipse is in 48 hours. I'm already in Silverpine, hidden among them. Damien was here, in the lodge, wearing a face they trusted. Jack ordered immediate lockdown, background checks, identity verification, silver tests. Paranoia spread. People accused each other. Sarah suggested, he's not new personnel. He's someone who's been here all along. Blood magic can change appearance. What if he's been hiding in plain sight? They reviewed everyone. 200 staff, 50 guards, 15 council members. After 6 hours of investigation, they hit a dead end, wasted precious time while the eclipse countdown ticked toward 0. Marcus called from his cell. I need to speak to my father. About Damien. I know where he is. Jack, Petra, and Sarah went to holding. Marcus looked defeated. I've been an idiot. I thought I was leading. I was being led. Damien's messages came through encrypted channel, but the last one had metadata, location data. He sent it from inside the compound 6 hours ago, from the council chambers. Someone on the council was Damien. They brought all 15 members to the main hall under guard. Accusations flew. Chaos mounted. Sarah watched them all. Years as an ER nurse had taught her to read people. Micro-expressions, body language. She noticed Elder Marcus Gray, the blind man who'd saved her life with his vote. His blindness seemed inconsistent. Sarah whispered to Jack, the old man, Gray. When did he go blind? Petra checked records, cataracts last year. He knew where I was standing earlier. Turn to face me directly. Watch him. Jack approached slowly. Elder Gray, how long have you really been blind? Long pause. Then Marcus Gray laughed. The sound was wrong, deeper, colder. He stood, moved with perfect sight. His voice changed. 11 months, brother. 11 months, sitting in your councils, watching you fail, voting to keep you in power just long enough to destroy yourself completely. Damien. Guards moved. Damien shifted. His wolf was corrupted, twisted by blood magic. Gray fur matted with black. Eyes burning red. Stronger than he should be. 3 guards went down. Petra's silver bullet caught his shoulder. He barely flinched. Jack shifted. Black Wolf, massive, scarred. They clashed in the hall's center. Council members fled. Marcus screamed from his cell. Damien's voice in Jack's mind. I spent 8 years setting this up. An explosion rocked the western wall. Rogues poured in, 50 fighters, maybe more. In the chaos, Damien grabbed Sarah, silver knife at her throat. Eclipse is in 12 hours, Jack. You sacrifice her, maybe you save some of your people. You don't, I kill everyone. Your choice, brother. Choose wisely. He dragged Sarah backward through the breach, into the forest, into darkness. Jack shifted back to human, weapon in hand, but had no shot. Too many rogues, too much chaos. Damien's voice echoed back, 12 hours. Choose wisely. Then they were gone. Jack didn't waste time with fear. 40 years of combat had taught him panic killed faster than bullets. He closed his eyes, reached for the bond. Sarah's presence flared in his mind. North, 20 miles and moving. He tasted her fear, but underneath ran calculation. She wasn't panicking. She was planning. Petra materialized at his shoulder. How many guards mobile? 32. Rest are engaged or wounded. Pull 12, best trackers. We leave in 5 minutes. They shifted in the clearing. 12 wolves plus Jack. Petra's gray wolf took point. Ben's aged brown wolf hung back slower but steady. Younger wolves formed perimeter. The trail was obvious. Too obvious. Damien wanted to be followed. Standard ambush psychology. Jack had helped write the manual on ambush tactics in the Gulf. He wasn't about to forget it now. He signaled flanking patterns. Petra peeled off 3 wolves to circle wide. Ben took 3 opposite, 6 with Jack driving the middle. If Damien expected frontal assault, he'd get 1. Just not the kind anticipated. The forest was silver with moonlight. Jack's breath misted as he loped through underbrush. The bond pulled him north and west, toward old mining territory, abandoned caves from the 50s, perfect ambush location, limited exits, easy to defend. They approached from downwind, 5 sentries at obvious choke points. Petra's team came from the east, Ben's from the west. Synchronized assault, minimal sound. Sentries went down in seconds. The cave entrance gaped. Firelight flickered deep inside. Jack shifted to human, as did Petra and Ben. Others maintained wolf form. Petra's tactical mind worked. Could be rigged. Damien wants me alive. Wants me to see whatever he's planned. Ben touched his arm. When we get in there, remember he's been planning this for years. Don't let him in your head. The tunnel descended steeply. 50 feet in, it opened to a large chamber. Fire burned at center. Sarah knelt beside it, silver chains on her wrists bolted to an iron ring. Damien stood opposite, looking like elder gray, except for the eyes. Those burned with intelligence and malice. Jack stepped forward anyway. Damien smiled. Took you long enough, getting slow in your old age. Let her go. We both know that's not happening, but please come in. We have so much to discuss. Jack moved closer, his people fanning out. Petra's rifle trained on Damien. Ben covering the entrance. Sarah met his eyes, calm despite chains. She gave the smallest nod. I'm okay. Damien paced around the fire. You look terrible, Jack. Tired, old. This job is killing you. You murdered my wife. Elena made you weak, domestic. You stopped being the warrior I followed. She was my mate, mother of my children. And you grieved 3 years while our territory fell apart, proving my point. Love makes you vulnerable, incapable of hard choices. Damien's voice hardened. I loved you once. My big brother, my alpha. I would have died for you. Then why betray me? Because you betrayed everything we were supposed to be. Remember when you came back from the Gulf, you were 19. I was 15. You'd killed men, seen things that broke most soldiers. You came home different, harder. I thought you'd become what we needed, a warrior alpha who'd make Silver Pine strong. Jack did remember. Those first months back, waking up screaming. Every loud noise sending him diving for cover, when he'd seriously considered eating his service pistol. Damien continued, but you softened, took Elena as mate, had pups, built a family instead of an empire. Dad chose you as heir because you were firstborn, not because you were strongest. I was always stronger, faster, better. Dad chose me because I understood what you never could. Power without purpose is brutality. Purpose, Damien spat the word. You built peace, prosperity, and look where that got you, a curse killing everyone, because you were too soft for necessary choices. Necessary? You mean murdering innocents. Damien gestured at Sarah. She's the key. Her death ends this. Sacrifice her, I'll even give you the power. You break the curse, save your people, we call it even. No. Even knowing thousands will die, you'd let them all perish to save one woman. I'd let them die before I become you. Damien laughed. Then you've already lost. You just admitted you'll choose personal morality over your people's survival. That's not leadership, that's cowardice dressed as principle. Sarah spoke, her voice cutting through tension. You're both talking about me like I'm a chess piece, like I don't get a say. Both men turned. I've spent 8 weeks in chains, listened to men debate whether I should live or die. I've been kidnapped, imprisoned, threatened. I'm done being passive. She'd been working the chains while they talked. Jack felt it through their cynic, her healing gift focused inward, accelerating recovery, building strength. Sarah gripped the chains. Pure strength, adrenaline, wolf power. The chains snapped. Both brothers stared. Sarah stood swaying but upright. Here's what's actually going to happen. Damien, you cast this curse using blood magic. Your blood is the key to breaking it, not mine. The only way to break your curse is for you to voluntarily release it and do the spell yourself. Damien's surprise flickered. And why would I do that? Because you don't want to die. You want power, recognition. Blood magic has a cost. You look 70, but you're only 48. You're dying by inches. Release the curse, I'll heal you. Jack gives you exile instead of execution. You get to live. Damien considered this. For a moment, Jack saw genuine calculation. Then something shifted. Interesting offer, but I think I'll stick with plan A. He shifted, his corrupted wolf charged. Jack shifted simultaneously. They crashed together with bone-jarring force. They'd fought as pups, sparred as young wolves. Jack knew every tell. But that was 40 years ago. Blood magic had changed Damien into something else. The corrupted wolf was stronger, faster. They traded blows. Claws raked. Fangs sought throats. Ben shifted and joined. Damien threw him aside like a rag. Ben hit the wall hard, didn't get up. Sarah wasn't running, she was searching the chamber. Looking for something, she found it. Damien's ritual components. Silver knife, chalice, ancient text. Sarah grabbed the book, started reading, forming words that tasted of age and power. Jack understood. She was attempting reverse incantation. Instead of sacrificing Omega to gain power, she was trying to reverse the curse flow. Pull dark magic from Damien and neutralize it through her healing gift. Insane. Brilliant. Might kill her. Jack's wolf howled. Thumb. He broke from Damien, hurting him toward the ritual space, towards Sarah and the altar. Damien realized too late. He lunged for Sarah. Jack intercepted, took claws across his ribs, felt bones crack, but held position. Sarah cut her palm with the silver knife. Blood dripped onto stone. She continued chanting. Power gathered. Jack felt it building. Pressure in his ears. Electricity in the air. Through the cave opening above, the sun dimmed. The eclipse had begun, the celestial deadline Damien had chosen deliberately. Blood magic reached its peak during cosmic alignment when the barrier between life and death thinned to nothing. Sarah's voice rose, chanting, synchronizing with the moon's path across the sun. As shadow swallowed light, the power flowing through her intensified. Jack understood what she needed. She was channeling the curse through herself, using her Omega gift as filter. But the volume was too much. She needed amplification. A partner. Jack shifted back to human, grabbed Sarah's bleeding hand. Their blood mixed. The bond between them roared to life. Through their connection, Jack felt the curse, a living thing, parasitic, rooted in Damien's bloodline but feeding on Silver Pine itself. Every death strengthened it. Every bit of suffering was fuel. Sarah's gift flowed through Jack and into the curse, not attacking it, healing it. transforming corruption back into clean energy. Totality approached. Darkness fell across the forest. In that perfect alignment, their combined power blazed. Damien felt it, screamed, shifted to human, and lunged. Petra's shot was perfect. Silver bullet through his kneecap. Damien went down. The curse energy poured out of him. Through Sarah, purified, released back to the land as clean life force. The chamber glowed golden, power flowing in circuit Damien to Sarah to Jack and back to Earth. Damien aged before their eyes. Blood magic had sustained him artificially. Without it, years caught up. Skin withered, hair turned white. He looked ancient, brittle. The curse broke, not through death, through healing, through two mates working in synchronization to transform darkness into light. As the moon moved past the sun and light returned to the world, Silverpine exhaled. The curse that had strangled it simply ceased to exist. Sarah collapsed. Jack caught her. Through their link, he felt her exhaustion. She'd given everything, nearly burned out completely. But she was alive, breathing. Across Silverpine, wolves gasped. Dying crops turned green. Sick children sat up. Elders shifted forms they'd thought lost. The land itself seemed to exhale 3 years of suffering in a single breath. Damien lay on stone floor barely conscious. Ancient, powerless, broken. They brought him back at dawn. Iron restraints, multiple guards. The lodge was a disaster, but the wolves who saw the convoy understood. The curse was broken. They felt it in their bones. Marcus was released to see his uncle. The young wolf looked hollow. When he saw Damien, ancient withered, his expression crumbled. You used me. For years. Damien's whisper was barely audible. I gave you purpose. Strength your father never could. You made me a monster. I made you what you needed to be. Marcus turned away. The trial convened that afternoon. Charges murder. Multiple counts including Elena Stone, treason, blood magic, attempted murder of the Luna. Damien didn't deny any of it. I did what needed to be done. You're all too weak to see it. Alpha James spoke. The penalty is death. Jack's voice cut through. No. We're better than that. The room erupted. Calls for execution, for justice, for blood. Jack stood, Alpha presence filling space. My brother wants me to kill him. Wants to prove when pushed I'll choose violence over principle. I won't give him that satisfaction. The right of removal. Your wolf will be severed, permanently. You'll live out your remaining years human only. No shift, no pack bond, life imprisonment. You'll watch the territory you tried to ruin thrive without you. Damien's smile faded. You should kill me. I'll escape. Maybe, but I won't become the kind of alpha who executes powerless prisoners. Even you. That's the difference between us. I can show mercy to enemies. You never could. The rite was performed at sunset. 3 alphas plus Jack formed the circle. The words were old, painful. Damien screamed when his wolf was torn away. The sound was inhuman. Loss of half your soul couldn't be quiet. When it finished, Damien slumped. Eyes empty. The thing that had made him shifter was gone. Just a bitter old man who'd wasted his life on vengeance. They took him to secure facility, underground cells. He'd live out his days staring at walls, knowing he'd failed. Marcus requested private meeting, father and son alone with wreckage between them. I helped at the end, gave you information. You also kidnapped Sarah and planned to murder her. I thought I was saving everyone. Jack studied his son, saw Elena in his eyes, saw himself in the stubborn jaw, saw Damien in the zealot certainty that had driven him to atrocity. You're my son. I love you. But I failed you. Didn't see Damien poisoning your mind. That's on me as much as you. What's my sentence? Exile. 10 years. Leave Silverpine. Build a life elsewhere. Learn what real leadership looks like. Learn humility. If after 10 years you've changed, genuinely changed, you can petition to return. Maybe rejoin succession. But you have to earn it. Marcus nodded. I'll do it. I'll prove I'm better than what he made me. Good, because you're still my son. That doesn't change. But you're not welcome here until you've learned the difference between hard choices and cruel ones. Marcus left the territory the next morning. Over following weeks, Silverpine transformed. The curse's lifting wasn't gradual, it was immediate and total. Wolves trapped in human forms shifted again. Sick became healthy overnight. Crops grew back so fast farmers couldn't keep up. The land itself seemed grateful. Springs bubbled to life. Game returned. Birds sang in trees that had been silent. Sarah established Healing Center in the Eastern Wing, trained new healers, used her amplified gift to help people across the territory. She was beloved within weeks, not as Luna, as Sarah, the healer who'd saved them. 4 packs that had seceded returned. Alpha James came to apologize. My son is alive because of Sarah. I was wrong. About sacrifice. About you. You proved there's a third path. Territory unity restored, stronger than before. Winter settled over Silver Pine. Jack stood at the operations center window watching ice form on Douglas firs, thinking about mortality. 53 years old. The gulf felt like yesterday and lifetime ago simultaneously. His daughter Lily was coming home for holidays. First time since Sarah had moved in. First time since everything changed. Sarah appeared with coffee. She'd learned how he took it. 3 creams, no sugar. Military habit from when sugar was scarce. Your daughter called. She'll be here by 5. You're nervous about meeting her. Sarah sat on his desk edge. Lily was 16 when Elena died. Spent 3 years watching me fall apart. Now she's coming back to find me with someone new. You want me scarce? No, you're my mate, my partner. She needs to meet you. I'm just not sure how to make this easier. There's no easy way. She's going to have feelings. We let her have them. Lily arrived early. She looked like Elena. Same dark eyes, same delicate structure. 25 environmental science graduate, conservation nonprofit in San Francisco. She also looked nervous as hell. The hug was tight, desperate. Jack had missed his daughter. You look good, Dad. Better than last time. I'm doing better. The curse breaking helped. I heard about her, Sarah Winters. She's here, wants to meet you, if you're ready. Is anyone ready for this? Sarah appeared from the kitchen, approached with calm confidence. Lily, I'm Sarah. I've heard a lot about you. Lily's handshake was firm, but smile didn't reach her eyes. Wish I could say the same. That's fair. This situation is complicated. That's one word for it. Tension stretched. Lily finally spoke. I'm not going to pretend this isn't weird. You're living with my father, sleeping in my mother's bed, running the territory she helped build. I'm not asking you to feel good about it. I'm just asking you not to be cruel to your father because of it. He's been through enough. He chose this. He chose you. He did, after mourning properly, after nearly dying to save this territory. He chose to keep living. That's not a crime. Lily's jaw tightened. My mother's been dead 3 years. I lost my husband 8 years ago. Raised my daughter alone. I know what grief looks like. Your father grieved Elena properly, honored her memory. But at some point you decide keep living or build a shrine to the dead and die with them. That's not fair. Life isn't fair. Your mother dying at 48 wasn't fair. But it happened. Your father kept going, kept this territory alive, refused to sacrifice an innocent woman even when it would have been easier. He's a good man, maybe the best I've known. I'm not apologizing for recognizing that. I'm not ready to call you family. I didn't ask you to. I'm just the woman who loves your father. Does he love you? Sarah glanced at Jack. That's his question to answer. Jack met his daughter's eyes. Yes, I love her. She's my mate. Not because magic forced it, because I chose her. Because she makes me want to be better. When I'm with her, I don't feel like I'm betraying your mother's memory. I feel like I'm honoring what she taught me about living fully. Lily's eyes shimmered. I miss her. So do I, every day. But she's gone and I'm still here. Sarah's still here. We get to choose what we do with the time we have left. Dinner was less awkward than it could have been. They found common ground in environmental science. Not friends yet, but not enemies. A starting point. Later, Jack walked Lily to her old room. You're really okay with her? Jack sat on her bed. I'm better than okay, I'm happy. For the first time since your mother died, I wake up and don't immediately think about how I'm failing. Sarah makes me feel like I'm enough. Mom made you feel like that too. She did, and I'll always love her for it. But she's gone, Lily. I can't spend the rest of my life mourning. Lily was quiet. She seems tough, Sarah. She is. Spent 8 weeks chained in Marcus's room. Never broke. When Damien had her at knife point, she didn't panic. She figured out how to reverse the curse while fighting for her life. Will you let Marcus come back? If he earns it, that's 7 years away. We'll see who he becomes. Everything's different. It doesn't feel like home anymore. Home isn't a place, it's people. I'm still here. Sarah's here. The territory itself. The bones are the same. We just rebuilt the structure. I don't know if I can live here again. I'm not asking you to. California's good for you, but you're always welcome. This is still your home. 3 months later, spring transformed Silver Pine into something from a painting. Wildflowers carpeted meadows. Salmon ran thick. Wolves ran through forests that sang with life. Sarah's center had trained 40 healers. Infant mortality dropped to nearly zero. Elderly lived longer, healthier. Jack received requests from Montana. Could they send observers to learn Silver Pine's methods? He approved it. Knowledge hoarding was how territories stagnated. Sarah was in the garden when he found her. Herb garden sprawling across half an acre. Montana wants to send delegation. Sarah glanced up, dirt on her cheek. Good, knowledge isn't proprietary. You could charge for training, revenue stream. I could, but I won't. Healing isn't about profit. Jack knelt beside her knees, protesting. What are you planting? Valerian root. For anxiety, northern families have PTSD from the curse years. You're thinking long-term. Someone has to. She wiped her forehead, leaving another dirt streak. How's Lily? Called last week, thinking about visiting for summer solstice. Wants to show her girlfriend the territory. Girlfriend, she didn't mention that. New development, Emma, human, same nonprofit. How do you feel about the human thing? My daughter's happiness matters more than species purity arguments. Good answer. Sarah returned to planting. I like who you are. They worked in comfortable silence. Summer solstice brought Lily and Emma to Silver Pine. Emma was human, 26, marine biologist. She had questions that made Sarah laugh and Jack scramble for answers. Lily seemed lighter, happier. She and Sarah had been texting, finding their own relationship. The territory gathered in the main clearing. 500 wolves in human form, 200 in wolf form running through forest under full moon. Celebrating survival, celebrating life. Jack stood with Sarah, Lily, and Emma on the observation deck. Leadership Corps watching their people thrive. This is what you built, Lily said quietly. This joy. I don't remember the last time I saw the territory like this. Before your mother died, before the curse. Jack's voice was soft. But this is different. This is earned. Emma squeezed Lily's hand. This isn't just a party. It's a declaration. You're telling the world you survived. Sarah added, we're telling ourselves. That matters more. Celebration lasted until dawn. For the first time in years, no one was afraid. No one was dying. They were just alive. Jack found himself thinking about Elena, wondering what she'd think. The territory healed. Sarah at his side, their daughter happy. He thought Elena would approve. She'd always been pragmatic about death. Had told him once that if anything happened, he should keep living. Should find happiness. Should not waste his remaining years building monuments to grief. He'd done that. Finally, after trying to die alongside her memory, he'd chosen life. Chosen Sarah. Chosen to keep going. It felt right. 1 year after the curse broke, Jack called formal territory gathering. 3,000 wolves in the clearing, 2,000 watching via video. He stood with Sarah. I've led this territory 28 years, made mistakes, lost people, failed more than I succeeded. But I've learned leadership isn't about being perfect. It's about being willing to make hard choices while keeping your humanity intact. He gestured to Sarah. Sarah Winters is my co-alpha, officially, equal authority, equal voice. When I'm gone, whether in 15 years or 50, she'll continue leading. Whoever comes after will inherit a territory that knows strength comes from partnership, not domination. Genuine applause. Sarah stepped forward. I never wanted to be Luna. I wanted to be a healer. Turns out I can be both. This territory saved me as much as I saved it. So yes, I'll help lead, but I'll do it my way. Half my time in medical, hands dirty, because that's who I am. Louder applause. After the gathering, Jack and Sarah walked territory boundaries. Old tradition, sun was setting, painting everything gold and crimson. Deer grazed, birds sang, rivers ran clear. This is what legacy looks like, Sarah said. Not monuments, just land and people healthy and whole. It's more than I hoped for. They reached the northern boundary. Beyond it, Canada stretched vast. New settlements were visible. Smoke from chimneys, children playing, construction sounds. We're leaving them something good. Sarah took his hand. We are. And when we're gone, they'll keep building. That's how it works. Each generation does their part, then steps aside. You think about it about dying. At 44 sometimes, more than at 20, less than at 60, it's reality. We die. What matters is what we do with the time we have. Jack pulled her close. I'm glad I get to spend my time with you. Even when I'm difficult. Especially then. You keep me honest. They stood as darkness fell. Below the territory settled for night. Lights in windows. Families gathering. Wolves running perimeter. Life continuing. Jack thought about Marcus in Portland. Lily in California. Damien in his cell. Elena buried in the cemetery. All the people who'd shaped him. All the choices that led to this moment. But he also felt the weight of time. 53 wasn't old, but it wasn't young. He had 15 good years left, maybe 20 if lucky, enough to see this through, to watch the territories solidify, to train whoever came next, but not enough to see grandchildren grow, not enough to watch the full legacy unfold. Sarah squeezed his hand. She felt it too, awareness of mortality that comes with age. They'd found each other late, had less time than they deserved, but they had time. That was enough. Some stories don't end with happily ever after. They end with, we'll make the most of what we have. That was more honest, more real. And real was all they had ever wanted. Sarah's voice broke his thoughts. You're thinking too much again. I'm thinking we did good work here. We did, and we're not done yet. They walked back toward the lodge hand in hand as stars emerged. Two middle-aged wolves who'd survived too much found each other in wreckage and built something worth keeping. The territory stretched around them. 60,000 acres, 20,000 wolves, alliances with distant territories, healing centers, new families building new lives. Legacy wasn't about monuments. It was this, just this. People and land healthy and whole, ready for whatever came next. Jack had spent years watching his kingdom die. Now he'd spend however many years remained watching it thrive.